What's happening around the world and what's happening here at home?
Good evening and welcome to Prime Time News here on TV1. It's the 5th of January 2024. For the Newsfirst team, I am Theruni Karunaratne.
And I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Excess power generated in the north to be sold. CEB workers take to the streets against proposed electricity bill. Will Sri Lanka dissolve parliament or hold elections?
පාර්ලිමේන්තුව විසිරීමේ බලය දැන් ගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාට ඕනම වෙලාවක තිබෙනවා.
දැන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ නම් එහෙම යෝජනාවක් ගැන නැහැ. පාර්ලිමේන්තුව කල් තැබීම පිළිබඳ යම් අදහසක් පැතිරී යනවා.
Navy captures fishing boat with 240 kilograms of narcotics in Galle. Sri Lanka-Zimbabwe ODI series begins tomorrow. Pathum will lose the series.
Will Sri Lanka dissolve its parliament or will the country hold an election? Here are the views expressed over Sri Lanka's upcoming election.
Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna MP Rohitha Begunawardana says that the SLPP is always ready for an election.
Regardless of what the election is, the SLPP is ready for it. It can be a presidential election, a general election or even a local government election. We are always ready to face it.
The State Minister of Mass Media says that the country must prioritize solving the people's issues than holding elections.
That is a power vested within the president. I believe that the country must prioritize solving the people's issues than holding elections. The people are suffering. We are aware of it. Now we must decide if we are going to worsen the situation or if we are going to suffer for a short period of time and revive the economy.
What is the stance of Partali Champika Ranawaka?
No, that's a lie. There is no such proposal in Parliament, but the President has the power to do so. However, there are opinions about proroguing Parliament. He might be able to do that.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that he hopes to sell power generated through wind and thermal power projects in Vanni to India. Now, he made this statement in Vaunia today.
The Vanni District Coordinating Committee meeting was held this morning at the Vaunia Municipal Council Hall under the chairmanship of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. A group of ministers and government officials attended the meeting.
One of the IMF conditions for Sri Lanka is for 12% of the GDP to be government revenue. By 2025, that number has to go up by 15%. Firstly, we have to work towards that number. Wind power and thermal power generate significant revenue for this area. Only 10% of this power generation is required for Sri Lanka. We hope to sell the rest to India, and another part of it will be used to generate green hydrogen and green ammonia. We can utilize the diaspora knowledge and investment to come up with a plan.
Meanwhile, the President urged provinces to utilize the powers granted by the 13th Amendment for Economic Development, asserting that devolution should not merely be a political concept but an economic reality. He was speaking at an event with professionals in Jaffna yesterday.
Firstly, we are no longer going to have a national economy focused on the western province and in Colombo. That's not going to work. Look, we have so many areas with a lot of potential. They should all have their own local regional economy instead of looking to take all the money from Colombo. Look at Japan. It's not a federal state, but look at how all the different departments and regions are developed. It's well developed. Look at Korea. Look at UK. Scotland is developed. Parts of UK, Wales. So why can't we have our own economies that are functioning? We use the powers and let them all develop. We talk of devolution as political. You can give all the powers by law. You haven't got a cent to spend, what are you worth? If you haven't got a cent to spend, what is the meaning of devolution? You can go on roads, you can shout on everything. The only province that can spend its way out in the Western Province. If you look at the 13th Amendment, there are enough powers. Just use it.
Meanwhile, Kilmisha Udayseelan, the winner of the Little Champs 2023 reality competition organised by the Zee Tamil channel in Tamil Nadu, India, met with President Ranil Wickremesinghe alongside her family members. The President extended his congratulations and expressed best wishes for her future education and musical career.
Two members of the Association for Relatives for Enforced Disappearances in the Vavuniya district who went to the Vavuniya Municipal Council Hall when President Ranil Wickremesinghe was present at the location were arrested by the police today.
A group of members of the Association for Relatives of Enforced Disappearances of the Vavuniya district attempted to meet President Ranil Wickremesinghe after he arrived at the Municipal Council Hall this morning to attend the District Coordination Committee meeting. Although a few people were given the opportunity to do so, the demand of the association was that all members who were present should be given the opportunity to meet the President. The members protested opposite the Municipal Council Hall when police officers did not allow them to meet the President. Newsfirst correspondent said that the leader of the association and another member were arrested at the site.
Our children have gone missing. We don't know their whereabouts. Let us know if our children are alive or not.
Meanwhile, the Kilinochchi Magistrates Court today rejected a request of the Punarin police preventing protests during the time period President Ranil Wickremesinghe was in the Punarin Divisional Secretariat. Additional Magistrate PRRA Jamil ordered that since it is a democratic right to hold demonstrations and protests, the protests can be staged as long as the President, the general public or public property at the place where the President is visiting are not damaged or harmed. A protest was held in Kandy today against Sri Lanka's VAT hike.
The Frontline Socialist Party had organised this protest under the theme "Reverse the Unjust VAT Hike, Tax the Rich and Relieve the People." The poor people of this country have become extremely helpless due to all the taxes imposed on the people of the country. We'd like to request the people of this country to support us in changing this situation. It is not a goal impossible to achieve.
A family of 3 has to spend 45,000 rupees in February to send their children to school. Those parents have not been able to afford to spend that much on their children. We know that the monthly expense of a family of 4 in 2019 was 55,000 rupees. However, by now that amount has increased to 175,000 rupees. That doesn't mean that the people's salaries have increased relative to that. Amidst all that, the government has now increased the value-added tax. This has become a huge issue to the citizens of the country. A press conference was held by the women's wing of the Jathika Jana Balawega.
Even though they talk about inflation, ministers who teach us economics under the guise of statistics do not understand the pain of our women and children. They do not understand the burden of living. A tax will be imposed on all our educational services, public utilities and our daily economic requirements. On one hand, the cost of diesel and petrol are being increased. On the other hand, they are taxing the people's food and children's education. After that, they are taxing all other goods along with meals served at hotels. Ultimately, all of these will have an effect on families and households. Families are facing issues. The parliamentarians who vote in favour of this budget are now having second thoughts. They are swapping sides. Therefore, we are ready to warn the government.
ආණ්ඩුවට අපි අනතුරු අඟවන්න සූදානම්.
මේ අවුරුද්දට පෙර එකතු කරගත් නොගත්ත බදු බිලියන රුපියල් 900 ඉක්මවලා.
The uncollected taxes before this year amount to over 900 billion rupees. Instead of collecting those taxes, they are now imposing more taxes on the common man. It is vital that we understand the root cause for this VAT crisis. It is due to the mismanagement on the end of politicians coupled with bribery and corruption.
නිසා තමයි අද දවසේ අපි මෙහෙම ජීවත් වෙන්නේ.
මේ ආණ්ඩුවට මිනිස්සු ජීවත් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක අදාළම නැහැ.
This government does not care how the people of this country will live, how to manage the bank balance, how to work with data. Can you show some magic to the international community? How can you satisfy the IMF? The government is taking these decisions in such a backdrop. That is very clear. They have collapsed. People are living with issues like how to afford salt for their food. The president is saying that nothing can be done in the foreseeable future. How can there be no alternative? To say there is no solution is an invalid statement. Everything has a solution. If Ranil Wickremesinghe is saying that there is no alternative, that means he is choosing to burden the people of this country. Their primary focus is now sustaining their political power and influence. That is why they have started jumping everywhere like frogs. We need an election. Even the people need an election. Bring an election. We are ready.
දැන් පටන් අරගෙන යන්නේ අපිට ඕනේ මැතිවරණයක් ජනතාවටත් ඕනේ මැතිවරණයක් එන්න ගේන්න මැතිවරණයක් අපි සූදානම්.
National Organiser of the Samagi Vanita Balawegaya, Hirunika Premachandra, expressed the following in Ratmalana.
මේ වෙලාවේ පෑලියගොඩ පොලේ ගිය දෙවනිදා එතෙක්
The highest vegetable prices recorded in history were recorded in the Paliagoda market on the 2nd of January. The transport expenses incurred due to the petrol and diesel price increases have to be added to the vegetable prices. The recent VAT increase is indirectly affecting the prices of food items, and we cannot blame anyone for it either. The people are not gaining more business either. Taking all of this into consideration, we need to think how the people of this country will be able to live in the future. The people have no way of expressing the pressure they are being put through right now. Everyone is waiting for an election to be held.
Ceylon Electricity Board workers held their protest against the proposed electricity bill that seeks to split the board into 6 separate entities. Their demand throughout the protest has been to complete withdrawal of the bill.
Ceylon Electricity Board joint trade unions, who initiated a 3-day protest on Wednesday, concluded the action today, gathering once more opposite the head office in Colombo Fort. Throughout the protest, they maintained their strong opposition to the proposed Sri Lanka electricity bill, raising concerns that it could pave the way for breaking up the CEB and selling it off in parts. The protest site witnessed a heavy presence of police officers and the deployment of water cannons. A court order by the Fort Magistrates Court was issued to the protesters, prohibiting a group led by the Ceylon Electricity Workers Union, General Secretary Ranjan Jalal, from entering specific locations in Colombo.
Many believe it's foolish to expect this government, with Kanchana and Ranil, to fix the electricity crisis. They argue that expecting miracles from them is like asking a crow to imitate a peacock's dance or a Garadi dancer to perform a snake dance. It's simply impossible. They point out existing roadblocks like the restrictions imposed before building the Lakshapana plant and the daily practice of, quote, appealing to the gods for electricity in Sri Pada, further hindering progress. They conclude that suggesting solutions to this bunch of crooks, as they call them, is futile, as there is no worse group to handle the situation. The government's silence in the face of 23,000 employees protesting for a discussion is concerning. The significant level of dissent demands attention and dialogue. Drawing comparison to past events like the 96 strike serves as a reminder of the potential consequences of unaddressed grievances. We urge the government to engage in open communication and recognize the gravity of the situation. This is not a matter to be treated lightly, like a simple corporate dispute.
The protesters also burnt and destroyed a copy of the proposed bill.
Up next is Action TV.
The
Ceylon Electricity Board said that the proposal to reduce the electricity tariffs, which was increased on the 18th of October by 50%, will be submitted to the PUCSL on or before the 15th of January. That is in a backdrop in which the Commissioner of the Human Rights Commission has requested a comprehensive report from the chairman of the PUCSL about the frequent electricity tariff hikes in the past year. The Human Rights Commission has opened an investigation into the controversial electricity tariff hikes in the past year in response to a complaint lodged in the Commission. However, in the current situation, there is a possibility of the CEB's plan to reduce the tariffs by 50% being rejected, as a parliamentary sectoral oversight committee has on 2 occasions written review suggestions and proposals to the PUCSL with regards to tariff hikes. The Sectoral Oversight Committee to combat the damage of the economic crisis called on all relevant parties on the 7th of December and held discussions on the controversial electricity tariff hikes. Previous Tuesday, the Secretary of the committee has forwarded the finding and proposals of the committee to the chairman of the PUCSL. According to the review of the committee, the PUCSL has authorized the tariff hikes even though the data submitted by the CEB to the PUCSL contained many contradictions. In the review, the committee further stated that such lapses have had a negative effect on the Commission confidence and sovereignty in the decision-making process. The review went on to point out that controversial tariff hikes were a result of ignoring basic economic principles. The committee, deeming the controversial price hikes as unjust, submitted 5 recommendations to the PUCSL. The first of these were ordering the CEB to equally distribute the CEB's extra profits equally among the general public and reduce the electricity tariffs. According to the first recommendation of the committee, the way forward should not be a cost amendment but repaying approximately 60 billion rupees that was robbed from electricity consumers. In a situation in which another tariff amendment has been proposed, it is the duty of the Parliament to appoint competent individuals with exceptional personalities who are capable of adhering to the relevant legislation and acting within the scope of the basic economic principles to the PUCSL.
The opposition leader expressed his opinion on the electricity tariffs at Dulapitiya.
The electricity supply to 800,000 electricity consumers has been disconnected. There is something I want to know. The CEB has recorded a profit of 52 billion rupees. Even when the CEB has profited in this manner, is the government heartless enough not to reduce the electricity tariff? Do they not feel sorry for the people of the country? It is their priority to protect primary bond dealers and the rich class of the country. I'd like to make a request to the government. In the name of humanity, reduce the electricity tariff.
උග්‍ර පෝසතා රැකගන්න එකද මං අහන්න කැමතියි. මනුෂ්‍යත්වයේ නාමයෙන් විදුලි බිල අඩු කරන්න.
Is Sri Lanka cricket ready to take on Zimbabwe with the first ODI scheduled to take place tomorrow? With opening batsman Pathum Nissanka being ruled out, who will be called to take his place?
The trophy that will be awarded to the champions of the Sri Lanka-Zimbabwe ODI series was displayed to the media today.
I think got a good chance. We've definitely had some success here in Sri Lanka before on previous tours. So I think that also gives us a lot of confidence going into tomorrow's game. It's a fresh start, it's a new year, enjoying that competitive cricket and making sure that, you know, coming on tours like this, when we get on the plane to fly home, no stone that's unturned. You know, we literally give everything that we can. So when you get on that plane back home, everybody is satisfied that we've given our all.
There is no requirement to make any significant changes because our plan will remain the same, as there are only a few things to be done. However, we will not take the Zimbabwe side lightly, as they can be challenging. We have practiced for around 2 to 3 weeks, and during this time, we have improved our fielding as well. I ask the fans to support us as they have done in the past, and I know they will.
Opener of the Sri Lankan team, Pathum Nissanka, will miss the match after contracting dengue. Siobhan Daniel is reported to be his replacement. The first ODI match will take place tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. and will be telecast live on TV1.
Still continuing in local news, the Sri Lankan Navy apprehended a multi-day fishing boat carrying more than 240 kilograms of narcotics in the seas of Galle.
The Navy intercepted the multi-day fishing vessel last night and brought it to the Galle port this morning. The drug bust was a result of a joint operation conducted by the Naval Intelligence Division and the Police Narcotics Bureau. The vessel was found to be transporting a combined total of 189 kilograms and 388 grams of ice and more than 55 kilograms of heroin. While 6 individuals were apprehended during this raid, they are fishermen residing in Galle and Birwala. Navy Commander Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira arrived at the Galle port today to observe the situation.
It
is a great service that you have rendered for this country by identifying this multi-day fishing boat in the deep sea successfully, tactfully chase after them and apprehend them for carrying such large amounts of drugs. On behalf of the President, State Minister of Defence and Defence Secretary, I'd like to forward their gratitude and praise to you.
Mama, Stutia. සහ පැසසුම ඔබලාට යොමු කරනවා.
Today, a special traffic operation covering police jurisdictions across the island was launched in conjunction with Operation Yukthya. The police media division said that this operation is set to continue for 1 week.
Now, police said that this operation was launched to weaken the drug transport network around the country.
Long-distance buses were searched in Navinna along the high-level road this morning. The assistance of police dogs were also obtained. The Nugegoda Police Division and the Special Task Force jointly carried out these search operations. All long-distance buses entering the Colombo city limits from the southern province were searched in the Kalutara town this morning. This is how buses travelling outstation from Colombo were searched in the Panadura town today. Buses were searched near the Bandaravela city limits as well. 2 individuals were apprehended during a search operation carried out in Gothatua today. 10 grams and 200 milligrams of ice were found on one, while 200 grams of cannabis was found on the other. The police apprehended a 3-wheeler and 2 mobile phones during the operation. A bus search operation and sticker campaign was carried out in Galle in conjunction with Operation Yukthya. Police apprehended 1 individual for the possession of almost 1 kilograms of cannabis in a Kathragama Colombo bus. This is how Operation Yukthya was carried out near the Dadruwe roadblock in Chilao.
The Lawyers Collective has written a letter to the Attorney General Sanjay Rajaratnam. According to the letter, Deshabandhu Thennakoon, who is a respondent in a fundamental rights case from the Supreme Court, does not have the opportunity to conduct an impartial investigation by remaining in the post of Acting Inspector General of Police. The Lawyers Collective said that it is the duty of the Attorney General to give instructions to the appropriate authorities to suspend him from that position until the relevant investigations are completed. In addition to this, the letter highlighted that it is the duty of the Attorney General to immediately file a case against the police officers mentioned in the judgment.
Today marks the 74th birthday of Venerable Banagala Upatissa Thero, President of the Sri Lanka Mahabodhi Association and Japan's Chief Sanganayake. His life and service to Buddhism have been an inspiration to countless individuals around the world, and his birthday is a fitting opportunity to celebrate his remarkable contributions.
A road adjacent to the Maradana Maliga Kanda Agrashravaka Mahaviharaya was named after Venerable Banagala Upatissa Thero to commemorate his birth anniversary today. The unveiling of the statue of Sri Devamita Dharmapala Thero, which was installed in the temple grounds, took place thereafter. The ashes of Anagarika Dharmapala Thero, which was found recently in the Agrashravaka Mahavihara premises, were stored in the statue with the participation of the Prime Minister. On the occasion of the birth anniversary of Venerable Banagala Upatisithera, the relics of Sariyut Mugalan Agra Shravaka was also displayed today. As a symbol of friendship, India's Deputy High Commissioner graciously presented Prime Minister Modi's heartfelt congratulations.
Letter from the Prime Minister of India for the gratitude for your ceremony, for this ceremony on his birthday.
Former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Mahinda Rajapaksa also participated in the day-long tribute to Venerable Banagala Upatisithera on his birthday.
As the new year dawns, a new chapter unfolds for the people of Udugama in Galle. Now, Gammadda began its work for 2024 with a promise to build a library for the young minds of the Sri Gunananda Junior School.
This morning, Gammadda set to work on its first project for 2024 with the blessings of the Mahasangha, a haven of stories for Sri Gunananda Junior School in Udugama, Galle. Students and teachers of the Sri Gunananda Junior School, educational officers, police, area residents and representatives of Gammadda attended the event. 275 students study at the Sri Gunananda Junior School in Udugama, Galle. Their school has no library and no space for educational equipment. But today, Gammadda stepped forward in support of these young minds. The foundation stone was laid today to construct a library for the Sri Gunananda Junior School. The project gets underway with the donation of the founder of the Sylvia Lanka Foundation, Mr. Vernon Udugampola, a resident of the UK. Mr. Themia Demel represented Mr. Vernon Udugampola at the event held today.
Reading books helps you read the society. Children like that will one day grow up to fight the challenges in society. This project by Gammadda will yield significant results in the future. It will benefit the children of the parents who struggle to provide a future for them.
A minute of silence was also observed in remembrance of Quinton Rajaselvam, a member of the Gammadda movement who recently passed away. This library will be a great resource not only for students of the Sri Gunananda Junior School, but for 10 other schools across Sri Lanka. This isn't just a building, it is a promise of future ignited.
A vibrant cultural festival celebrating Thai Pongal will kick off tomorrow in Trincomalee. The event is organized by the Eastern Province Governor's Office.
Celebrating the spirit of Tamil Thai Pongal, a vibrant cultural festival organized by Eastern Province Governor Sendil Thondaman, begins tomorrow and traverses through various parts of Trincomalee until the festive day. Marking a historical first, the festival incorporates the exhilarating sport of Jallikattu, captivating audiences with its unique display. Jallikattu, also known as a competitive bull taming sport, forms an integral part of the Pongal celebrations in Tamil Nadu. The event entails releasing a bull into a confined space amidst the crowd, challenging participants to grab its hump and attempting to halt its movement. Beyond this thrilling highlight, a diverse array of competitions awaits, including boat races, lively beach kabaddi matches, graceful Silambatam performances, and traditional bullock cart rides. Venues like Sampur, Kinya, Trincomalee Beach, and the stadium have been prepared to host these captivating cultural contests. As the main event of the Pongal festivities unfolds on Monday, 8th of January, a breathtaking spectacle awaits. A spectacular dance event featuring approximately 1,500 Bharatanatyam dancers.
The well-known law firm Julius & Creasy celebrated its 145th anniversary recently in Colombo.
Julius & Creasy, one of the oldest civil law firms in Sri Lanka, celebrated its 145th anniversary recently in Colombo. Founded in 1879, the firm has established itself on a rich tradition and the highest professional principles. Julius & Creasy offers an extensive range of full legal services in the field of corporate, commercial, banking, insurance, tax, property and construction, intellectual property, IT, telecommunications, infrastructure, shipping, maritime and admiral, admiralty, commercial litigation, arbitration and employment law. The beginning of the partnership go back to when E.D. Thomas joined Villiers Alexander Julius and attested their first notarial deed. E.D. Thomas's partnership with V.A. Julius was of a short duration, as the former returned to England owing to ill health and his place was taken by Harry Creasy, with the partners operating under the name, style and firm of Thomas, Julius and Creasy. Harry Creasy, the son of Sir Edward Creasy, who was one-time Chief Justice of Ceylon, was also a member of the legislature at the time. V.A. Julius was the senior partner of the firm and along with Harry Creasy carried out their functions and duties with meticulous care and detail. In a few years, their reputation for honesty, integrity, industry and precision grew to such an extent that they were respected throughout the business and civil communities as well as the government of the day. Julius and Creasy was not only the name of the firm, but the names of two pioneers of legal practice in Sri Lanka, a banner of leadership which still flies proudly to this day.
And with that, wrap up Primetime News for tonight.
Thank you for watching. Take care and good night.